Alrighty. So, well, this afternoon we had a bit of an issue. I had a nice long rant about the debates. Um, and unfortunately, YouTube once again changes things without telling anybody. So, whereas before I never had to do anything to get it to connect to the stream, now I have to go back onto YouTube after the fact. So we know this. I do apologize. The stream is unfortunately lost to us. It was a fun one, but my blood pressure doesn't need to get that high again. I will, however, say that is it showing on there still? Okay. Can, okay. Cool. Because look, if you look, it says I have 0 viewers.
I'm on there.
Oh, now it shows you. It said I had 2 for a minute.
Yeah, you had 2 for a minute. I saw that. Probably JC.
But the short and skinny of it is, and I'll go over the points real quick. One, and this is the very important one, folks, because the fact that people don't know this is disturbing to me. Coyotes are not an animal.
Well, they are.
Anyway, they are an animal. However, in reference to smuggling human beings, that is not what they're referring to. Coyote is slang for human trafficker from Mexico. And I will make this point the same way I did in the stream. And how am I going to do that, you ask? By simply pointing out this. Okay? You see that? Watch what happens when I put wait, yeah, Coyote CYO, right?
COY.
COY. I always mess that up.
OTE.
Coyote MEX oh, ICO. Can't spell. Whatever. Coyote, Mexico border. The very first thing that pops up. Coyote, person, Wikipedia, cool. I don't like Wikipedia, but it gets the point across. A coyote is a person paid by migrants to illegally guide them to assist them to across the U.S.-Mexico border. This is the first line. This is what he was talking about. Give me the image back. Okay, I made that point during the stream. So coyotes are not referring to the dogs. They're referring to human traffickers. And when they're like, oh, there's 500 kids. Biden's sitting here yelling about this. You have 500 kids who you don't know where their parents are. Well, folks, I'd like to give you some enlightenment on into what exactly happens when a coyote escorts a bunch of families across the border. 67 to 87% of the time, they shoot the parents in the back of the head, steal the kids, and sell them into the sex slaves. Yes, folks, coyotes are bad. Imagine that. That's why they have a bunch of kids with no families. They weren't ripped from the arms of their parents. This came to be because the coyotes got caught crossing the border with a bunch of kids. And then the children we're not going to put the children in jail. They did nothing wrong. They're children. They don't know what's going on. They're victims in it. So, before you go traipsing around calling anybody else making stupid choices, how about you actually do some research as human beings? Understand the things that you're fighting for. 2, I don't care about what Biden thinks about COVID. Yes, I'm aware he thinks masks are great and the most fantastical thing ever created on this planet. They are not. It is a disease. There is more than one way to pass the disease. 2, he screwed up the swine flu so bad that he killed people on a disease that should have killed 0. End of story. 3, he is going to shut down all oil manufacturing in this country. That is what he wants to do. So if you live in a state where it's heavily oil based, guess what? You're out of a job. That's what he wants to do. He said so himself during the debate. He wants to end our dependency on oil. That's fine if you have a plan in place to equip us with electricity so people don't die of exposure. That's not going to happen if you just cut out the oil. So, and your renewable resources, they're not there yet. They are not. Solar, wind, all of that, they're nowhere near enough. We don't hold electricity in giant batteries all over the United States. That's not how it works. There is constant energy flowing through those lines. And there is a demand. Ask California about this. That's what I'm going to tell you. When there isn't enough electricity, what happens? The electricity just starts turning off. Now, California is not so bad because they never get cold enough or hot enough to kill people. See there, I was supposed to not get my blood pressure up.
You went and got your blood pressure.
I did indeed. I'm yelling again.
It's worth yelling about.
It is, and it's very frustrating. And I had much better stuff going on before. But anyway, those are 3 of the major points. Oh, the other one is Joe Biden is shady. Look at the emails, all this stuff. He wants you to believe it's Russia again. Apparently, that's the old. When they think something's wrong, just pull out the Russia card. It didn't work in 2016. It's not going to work now. Now, I don't know for sure whether or not he is guilty of these crimes. Sure seems like it due to preliminary evidence, but an investigation is needed. And I hope he goes to jail for it, because I honestly think he doesn't care whether or not they eventually investigate him, because he doesn't intend on staying president anyway. Kamala Harris is the one who wants you to have. It was the one they want you to be their president, and Nancy Pelosi will be her vice president. It's not even a joke. That's how that works. Another point. If you don't understand how options work in a insurance setup, an what did he call it? He called it a market option or whatever.
Marketplace.
A marketplace. Okay. Yeah, that's the words he used. But a marketplace is socialized medicine, folks. So what it'll end up being is you have all these different companies competing for your plan, right? Now, when you have insurance company A, B, C, and D competing against a federally funded medical practice, here is what's going to happen. Oh, you can't be competitive? We're going to throw another $2 trillion for you to just drop everybody's premiums. All right? So everybody gets on the Medicare plan, right? Because it's the cheapest. That's what we're going to do. Human nature. We're going to go with the cheapest option as long as it gives us the ability to have the service. All right, cool. There's nobody on those other plans. Okay, get rid of that. Pull the money out. Your premiums are back through the roof. It's called a monopoly, folks. Only difference is this time the government would own it. Is that what you want? People used to do this all the time. I remember gas stations in California when they had the really bad gas prices at like $6, $7 a gallon. Well, you would see Exxon, Mobil, and I don't know. You had Exxon, Mobil. You had like 5, and these are just on the freeways, okay? While traveling down the I-5. Okay, this is how this works. So you see one gas station that is $6.89. This is a locally owned gas station, right?
Wow. 6.89.
Yeah, I know you've never been to California, but they're only at like four something right now.
That sucks.
Yeah. So, because they tax their gas, they have like five different tax brackets in California. They can't afford they can't fund the things that they have set up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Are the roads any better?
No.
No.
Anyway,
Sorry.
so you have the one lone like non-monopoly style gas station sitting there, and their gas is always higher than everyone else's gas around them. Now, all the other people have the gas at the exact same price, which is lower than that person. Why are they doing this? Well, it's pretty simple. They're going to take a loss for a year, maybe two, possibly 2 years. Then, when that business that had the higher gas prices goes out of business because they couldn't sell their gas because nobody's going to buy the gas at 60 cents more a gallon. You know what I mean? Unless you know them. Like, I remember people doing this. Like, locals will buy at the more expensive gas station simply to try to fund it to keep it alive because they know the people. They're part of the community. So they're going to help them. That's great. My grandpa, he lived in California, used to do that all the time. He wouldn't buy at Home Depot unless he had to. He would always buy his tools from local places. He would rather spend more at a local place than spend less at a big box store. Now, again, that didn't end up working. Luckily, there's Home Depot and Lowe's. Those two compete with each other. And Walmart. So you have all three of these companies kind of competing with each other for tool prices, anyways, to an extent. But eventually, that other company would go out of business. And then they would all raise their prices up to $7 or $8. That way, you're paying more. In the end, they're going to make their money back out of you regardless, and it's going to be far worse. That's what they want to do. That's the exact same thing that they want to do with your healthcare. Don't buy into it. Then we have, oh, like I said, I lost my train of thought there because I had these all laid out in a nice, neat little thing, and it was great.
I'm distracting.
No, that's not the. No, the issue is I don't have that up anymore. I had it all saved on a notepad. What I was going to talk about. Um,
I like this better.
huh?
It's more extemporaneous.
Yeah, but I'm not getting my points.
Well, I thought you were just gonna do a quick.
Yeah, quick recap. But now I can't remember all the things I talked about. Um, oh, yeah, the last one is going to be the stimulus. Out of the ones I can remember. What things have not been dragged out of my short-term memory loss. But, so, this stimulus. Biden says, well, why won't you get with your Republican buddies to make this stimulus happen? He's not referring to the Republicans' bill. He's referring to Nancy Pelosi's bill. And Nancy Pelosi's bill is terrible. It's like 45% of $2.2 trillion goes to California. They are going bankrupt in that state, and she is using this opportunity to fund her own state. This is despicable. And she's like, you don't know what your constituents need. Well, I give her props on one thing. She's definitely working only for her constituents. Now, she's in Congress. She's supposed to work for the betterment of all of the United States as a whole and represent her particular group's ideas. She's not there to make specific federal mandates that only affect people in her state. I'm fairly certain if this stimulus does not go through, California won't have a choice but to declare bankruptcy again. This will be 6 times, folks. 6 times that state's declared bankruptcy and had to have a bailout specifically from the federal government. But this is her way of trying to do it without you knowing, because here's the thing, when they have to declare bankruptcy, they just zero out. They don't get new funding. And they're like, "All right, we're going to take your debts, we're going to zero them out. You get to start next year at flat." No. She wants a surplus so she can keep doing her stupidity, because they'll go in, they're going to cancel programs in California, get rid of all this stuff, look to see what's causing where the money's draining from. California has a 62% income tax, folks. In the United States. That's higher than some states combined. And I'm talking about Oregon. Oregon doesn't have this issue, and it's not like they're not blue. Mind you, it's only a city that's blue, or well, one half, like a quarter of the state that's blue. The rest of it's all red. But they have they have 25% income tax, but no sales tax. It's despicable that they can't manage to balance their budget. They have to keep borrowing money from the United States. All right, folks. But that's what happened this morning. I have figured out and fixed the problem. It won't happen. Join us tonight for Among Us. Bonus long stream. Hopefully we'll have some extra folks. As always, I'll put it in the Discord. The Discord link will be in both this video and in the Among Us video. Jump in, say hi. The link to join up with our particular the server we've made will be in the stream chat. So join up, have fun, and we'll see you guys all tonight. As always, have fun.